Okay, as you now see, the cylinders are glued on. They were set in the right place by using the slide bar supports as a guide, and at the bottom on the brake, where the brake rods are moulded on, the cylinders rest on the bottom there, and as I said earlier, just behind the top part of it, so they're a nice snug fit. They've now been glued on and it's ready for the next stage. Right, one last job before assembly. Just use the bridging piece that you've cut off to fill the gap at the front of the chassis. So do that, use liquid poly, and that's all I've used to fasten the cylinders on, liquid poly. That's all you need. Put too much on there. Let that set for a bit. It's ready for final assembly. Before we do that, we just need to take the body and on the front screw, just ream that out a little bit. You need a 2mm drill and just ream that out, because the Hornby screws, although they're self-tappers, they don't have a point on, so it's difficult to start them. And yeah, that's it, job done. Right, now there's the chassis assembled. I'll put the rods on because they're difficult to get on. Well, you can't get them on once it goes onto the body. So this is still detachable, of course, so it's not a problem. You just slide those in ready for going onto the chassis, onto the body. And the next step is to actually put the body on. So you've got your wires which go through the holes that are in the bottom of the body. And that just slides in quite nicely, and the body should be a nice snug, the chassis should now be a nice snug fit onto here, onto the body. You may have to file a little bit off the end of the steps to get it to fit properly, but that's just a minor point. So chassis on the body, and now it's time to put the screw in to hold the body on. Now you only need that one screw at the front, and the motor mount will hold it at the back. The other attachment, the other screw hole that the chassis has got, is for when you put sorry, it's not there, little one there. That is for on the Hornby. It holds the weight on. Now with this, the next step before we do anything else is to put a bit of weight in. Now I've got a bit of rolled up lead. That's totally on PC, but it works for me. So I can't officially say you've got to use this, but it's a very good way of weighting it, as you will know. So that goes into the boiler, and then we will pat that with a bit of sponge to hold it in. Okay, here's one I prepared earlier. So we just roll it up. Don't fasten anything around it because it won't expand then when it's in the hole. So we have to try and get it in there. Try using a pair of pliers, shall we? And squeeze it in. And then that will expand and hold itself and the weight inside. Just put it down well so that it clears the motor, or where the motor will go. That's it. Now that's ready. The next step is to put the wheels on. Now what I have done here is I've changed the wheels round so that you have the what were the front on the Pug and now on the back, and the drive wheel takes the what were the front ones. So the drive axle takes the what were the front ones. So they go on the back, and the other ones go on the front, of course. You do need to as you're taking both off, you do need to quarter them up, but it's not too difficult with a bit of practice. The next thing is put the wheels in and the TV plate on to make sure that they stay in. So we'll put that on now. And we'll put a screw in there to hold it. So that holds them in, and then we put the connecting rods on. This is how it looks now. The chassis is on the body. The next job is to slide the motor on. Now, little tip, this doesn't have a back of the cab doesn't come off like the Hornby one, so it just goes straight down. So if you put the screw on first, that helps you to do it without having to locate the screw afterwards. Now all we have to do is feed the wires into the motor through the motor mounts. Easier said than done, but we'll get there sooner or later. both wires. I hope they're coming through now. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so there's the wires coming through. There's the motor going in, and the final job is to screw it down. There you are, job done. And all we need to do now is solder the wires on, and away you go. I'll just bend them over for now and put the top on.